Hey there, everybody, I'm CCP Dolan here with CCP Fozzie bringing you Dead Terrorists versus Sadistica Alliance. We got Dommies again.
We have more Dominis versus the flagship. We have
Ooh.
Larf for Dead Terrorists is sitting in their flagship Vindicator. Not a whole lot of other battleships, no other battleships on his team though. So he's in a flagship Vindy, got a whole team of Vexers and Maulers and Enyos, Myrmidon and Neros. It's a pretty solid setup. I might have gone for, say, a Rupture over the Maulers, for instance, but decent. Now, Sadistica, though, with a pretty standard Dommy setup, and they've come in at good range. Dommy's all the way at the back with most of the team, and the frigate's up in front to screen. That's well placed. It's going to be quite hard for that Vindy to get in place. He's going to have to kill all those frigs as he moves past.
Do you know why I kind of actually like the Maulers in this case? They're not going to get deleted as fast by Dominix's. It might take like 3 rounds of Sentry Fire.
Yes.
Instead of the 1 round, it would, or 1 or 2 rounds it would take to kill a Mauler running around or something like, or sorry, a Rupture running around or something like that.
We'll see how long they survive, though, because right now the match has begun. Looks like a Vexer or Farsley is going to be the first target here, or Faisley. He is taking a bunch of fire.
The red laser of doom has landed upon Faisley. You can
just
follow that target painter and know who's going to die. But reps catch him. If it wasn't, if it was a Rupture, it would have died.
The Rupture is about the same as a Vexer.
Oh, isn't Vexer slightly more?
Yeah, it's similar-ish.
Just make me
They both
sound
got
right.
it.
Just
Okay.
agree. Just agree. But yeah, so we'll see if the reps actually catch here.
Well, they
Me-
caught,
no,
just
they
wasn't
caught,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Enyo getting taken out by the support fleet here.
We do have a Dommy taking quite a bit of damage, though. The Vindy has gotten on top of them. The screening frigs didn't actually stop the Vindy, so that's why those frigs were in front of the entire Dommy fleet. However, they didn't catch the Dommy. It looks like they might have grabbed some of the cruisers instead, or they didn't catch the Vindy, I mean. Getting that flagship Vindy out of the fight for as long as possible would have been a huge deal.
See if you see it again. This Dominix is smart bombing. Oh, they cut away. So that Dominix was smart bombing
Yep.
inside his own cloud of drones.
Yeah, they haven't moved out of their sentries. That's another kind of weird thing about this. Normally, when you have this setup where you have the screening drones, it's basically the same way of using the Dommies that we saw Hydra in the first day use it, and people have been copying it from that point on. You dropped all the sentries of the Dommies, you burn directly away, you have the frigs in front to screen. You catch the other team right around where the guards are, and the guards just kill them. In this case, so they didn't move the Dommies. The Dommies are at 0 speed.
Yep.
Have never moved.
Well, maybe they've got a plan we've not seen before.
The plan is to just like go away from the computer. Maybe these guys have taken like the whole GUR drone assist thing to its logical conclusion and have decided to actually go away from the computer.
They're really mad, so they've
It
assisted
doesn't
their drones
actually
and
work
gone
that
home.
way.
Or like all of them are being multi-boxed by one person. Like they just turned all the
But you
reps
can
on and
still
walked
move
away.
if you're being multi-boxed.
Well, true. But it's much harder. You might people when they're multi-boxing tend to violate the boundary. We see the Vexters going down. Those are high DPS ships for Dead Terrorists.
Yeah.
And the reps are the reps stabilized on the Dominix.
Yeah, like, as much as we're criticizing they're not moving, they're actually still in a really good position here. And
They're
have been
holding.
from the start.
O'Nero's getting shot here. Let's see if he can hold.
I doubt
if
he
he
will be
dies,
able
he's
to.
in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Where is he? Is he in the cloud?
He is.
Or is he getting eaten up by like
He's like
Incursuses and
right,
stuff?
right at guard optimal with a
Mm.
frig on top of him.
Well, hopefully he'll get out from under the
Yeah, he's got a
scram and web.
Vengeance tackling them there, which is hard to clear off. Vengeance is being one of the tankiest frigates in the entire game. And he's getting eaten through there. Not super fast, but he's not going to be able to survive for too much longer. As the Aneros disappears for Sadistica.
Was that a boundary violation?
Nope, he
No, we
just
were just
died.
weren't paying attention. It gets long in the day. The days are long here. Sometimes we miss small little details like losing the logistic ship for a team.
Minor. Meanwhile, though, the Aneros for Dead Terror is about to follow.
We caught that one. We
Yes.
saw it die. It didn't violate the boundary or anything.
Beginning and end in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dommies, on the other hand, are actually still holding up fine. At the moment, they're going to be taking more they won't survive as well because they won't have the Aneros repping them. But they've turned their fire to the Vindicator of Larf. This is a flagship Vindicator. That is a very expensive ship.
Yep.
To lose this thing is a big deal.
They're switching back onto Joker Drone Master again. Not testing the tank. Not testing the tank of any of the other Dominixes. Choosing to go with the same guy they shot before. They liked his resist when they shot him before. Just once they removed the Oneros, they were ready to go back on him. So we'll see if he drops. The Vindicator seems to be holding fine because they've switched to shooting Maulers.
Yes, which is actually pretty decent. Clearing them off in this, well, Not against the flagship Vindicator. Against the flagship Vindicator, because you can't fit faction hardeners on a flagship Vindicator, but you can fit faction mag stabs, and it just does so much damage. Anyways, you probably are going to actually have more DPS for the HP on a Vindicator than on the Maulers. But it's not the worst choice in the world. They're going to clear them off, and the Maulers do actually do a bit of significant DPS, and the drones track them fine, so you might as well clear them off.
So the breakdown here is I feel like if while they're shooting these Maulers, because they're going to shoot a Mauler again, he can kill this Dominix, so this Dominix for Joker Drone Master is about to die. If they can switch to another Dominix, and before all these Maulers die, get like one of the Dominixes to like half armor, that's what I'm feeling, then they just potentially can delete everything. Like, because Ishkur and a Maulus and a Vengeance, all of that can't get anywhere near a flagship Vindicator, which is potentially going to have like officer webs on it.
It could have faction webs, could have officer webs. Either way, it's going to have a lot of web range. It has that big bonus for anyone who's not familiar with the Vindicator. It's a lot like a Megathron or a Navy Mega that we've seen in the tournament a bunch of times. Does a lot of damage with blasters. It's fairly mobile. The big thing about it, though, is it has a bonus to stasis webifiers. Most stasis webifiers only reduce someone to 40% of their speed, takes away 60%. The stasis webs on the Vindicator reduce you to 10%. Cuts a whole 90% off your speed. It slows you to a stop, and then his blasters can just rip right through you.
Do you know what I figured the counter? Sadistica has figured out the counter to 90% webs. The counters don't move at all.
Yeah, there you go. Who cares? At the moment, actually, there isn't any webs on the Sadistica team. It looks like the Vindicator there of Larf has decided that it's not worthwhile.
Yeah. So we see here the Vindicator is not going to be able to really shoot anything very much. He's been getting muted the whole time. Myrmidon deleted off the field.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a rough time. But the Dominix is in half armor, like we predicted. They've just lost to Myrmidon.
Yeah. Joder's Myrmidon a much bigger deal, though, than the Mauler. Does more damage, also has gang links. So they're going to take down the Mauler now. Then we're going to end up with a Dominix in like structure.
Vindicator versus the world.
That's gonna be tough. It honestly, I can't say for sure how it's gonna go. These Incursuses and Ishkurs and Vengeance, like they will do actually a pretty significant amount of damage. The Vindicator can swat them away, but that will take time. And meanwhile, the Dommy's gonna be hitting them pretty hard. And the Dommies have newts on them, so this Vindicator hasn't been firing consistently and hasn't been able to turn on his web consistently. So he is definitely not gonna be doing max DPS.
Yeah, he's just not turned on his web. He finally turned it on now. Because the Dommies went crazy and started moving. But we'll see if this Dommy gets burned down in time.
I don't think it's going to be enough. But look at how fast Larf is going down.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're about to see a very expensive explosion, ladies and gentlemen. Dead terrorists about to get knocked out.
Look at how much Comida Eisenhorn is not going down at all.
Yeah.
There's just no cap. No cap left at all. Oh, he's shooting.
Firing.
Well, he's shooting.
He might take down the Dominix, but I doubt it. The Dominic's in structure, so kind of could go either way with that. But he's not going to kill the last Dominix.
He's
not going to kill Kadai. There's no way that he'll actually turn around the match. So we're going to be seeing an extremely shiny explosion. This is the kind of thing that you don't get to see all the time in EVE. There's a lot of very valuable ships out there that people fly, but running into them isn't an everyday occurrence. Here on EVE TV, you get to watch some of the most expensive explosions, and that Vindicator is definitely going to be one of them. And there we go. Always great to see that.
And unlike in some of our previous matches, plenty of ships on top of that Vindicator to loot. That potentially officer, faction, dead space fit.
Either way, lots of valuable shinies.
Exactly. And you'll be able to check out, if you go online, you can check out the kill mail sometime later today. I'm sure it will be posted on EVE Reddit or something like that, because everyone loves posting expensive kill mails. So that's going to be the match. We do have a trivia question for you. We're going to be giving out 60 days of a 60-day time code from our sponsors at EVE Time Codes. And the question is, name all 13 T1 battlecruisers. Go to the EVE Online forums, post in the thread that's been posted, and take a chance at winning 60 free days of EVE Online.